What's going on, Leo? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the rest of January 2024. So in this reading, Leo, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the rest of the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you, and so much more regarding January 2024, Leo. But before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here, Leo, in this space with me as we go through this reading. And I really do appreciate you, as always, in advance, Leo, for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. So without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy for you, and we'll see what's coming your way, Leo, for the rest of January 2024. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Leo. See what we got going on here for you, Leo. All right. Interesting energy that you got going on here, Leo, for sure. Maybe a real challenge for you around patience. You know, there could be a real feeling of impatience here in January 2024. The reason I say that, your biggest challenge is the Three of Wands, and it's kind of coming through as really hard for you to remain optimistic, really hard for you to be patient and have a good outlook about what's going to come to you, even if it's not happening right now. You know, knowing that better days are coming, knowing that you're waiting for something to change, could be a little bit growing impatient here. And so, I don't know, before we get into, but I feel like there's something you can do about it. You know, I don't necessarily see this as being a month of you being overly patient. There's something you can do to alleviate that. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. Before we get into the tarot, let's start this off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards. And these oracle cards contain the energy that you need more of. The energy you need more of for January 2024. And the first one you have here is Taurus, the sensual. All right, so some of you could be connecting with a Taurus. If you have a friend that's a Taurus, or if you're in a love situation, business situation, a Taurus, this is someone that you need to connect with. So keep your eyes on the lookout for a Taurus. Could be very useful to you. But Taurus, you know, is the most grounded energy in the zodiac. So for you, definitely getting grounded and not getting too lost in your emotions is going to be something that's really key for you here, because I do feel like there's a situation that's throwing you off emotionally, potentially having to do with an opportunity in love. And so just remain grounded. You know, remember that all we have is the present moment. Taurus needs to be in the present moment more so. So Taurus, you know, it is a lovely energy as well. Venus rules Taurus. So I don't know, Taurus. You also have the 12th house of spirituality and art. Okay, so for a lot of you, there's definitely going to be a call in some sort of way to ground your spirituality and your art, and to make it tangible, make it physical. You know, make your spirituality something not just that floats off and that you do a silent prayer every single night. You know, but something that is real, something that you can touch and feel. So perhaps like the idea of, you know, this could even be if you're making food, you know, give it a spiritual element, you know, because food contains spiritual energy. The way that you prepare the food changes where the food goes in your body. So if you are working with, you know, I do feel like this is just a little sub message, like make sure that your food is cooked with love. Make sure that also, you know, you could also need to spruce up your possessions and spiritually activate them, like sage your house, sage your possessions. Something to do with the earth realm, and also spirituality is what you need more of. And for some of you, it's like not to give up on a spiritual project, or maybe you're writing a book, or maybe you're doing some sort of thing that requires deep research. Like, remember, like I said, Leo, the challenge is the 3 of Wands, and what you need more of is the 12th house and Taurus. So it's like, don't give up on God. Taurus is fixed, and don't give up on the spiritual is what I'm saying here in some sort of way. Don't lose hope. There could be a situation, especially a difficult emotional situation, that may cause you to flirt with the idea of nihilism. If there was a God, if spirituality was so real, then why is this happening to me? Those kind of black-white polarized viewpoints, be careful of jumping to conclusions about God, the universe is against me. Just be careful with that. You also have Uranus, change and new beginnings. Uranus has to do with being a little bit authentic and innovative and bringing something new. It has to do with technology as well, and it's the change bringer, right? Uranus also has to do with random things. So with the 12th house, Uranus and Taurus here, Uranus also rules Aquarius, so there could be an Aquarius that you're connecting. But with Uranus and Taurus, that's an interesting energy of grounding the new, bringing newness into old structures perhaps, or grounding something that seems out there and odd in some sort of way. So maybe this is a project that you're working on that requires a lot of patience and faith. I just get the word faith. And also, this is definitely the energy of putting yourself in a position to experience new things, to experience randomness, and also to honor yourself as unique. Okay, Leo, this is just the opening message. So let's go ahead and get into this reading now for you. Your opportunity for January 2024 is the Emperor. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is to take charge of your own life, understanding no one's coming to save you. But for some of you, there is a new relationship coming in here, or there could be a difficult situation with an Aries for some of you Leos out there. But, the Emperor does represent Aries, but the Emperor is a king of a kingdom. So that it does require responsibility. Your opportunity may be to take, leadership seriously, because Leos always generally make great leaders, and the Emperor has to do with leadership. So perhaps there's a stressful situation some of you could feel like you're in charge of other people's emotions, or you're taking on a lot of emotional baggage for other people at this time. And if you're doing that, make sure you don't lose sight of yourself. Make sure you don't, because a lot of times, when we have Uranus and we have the 12th house, it's like a lot of you sensitive Leos out there could be taking on other people's emotions that are just so grounded in the physical world, and it's hard for you to differentiate between other and me. And the Emperor here is really a card of different psychological or even physical being different, being an individual, standing on your own potentially. But then the Emperor does have to do with ruling a kingdom, so I don't know. And, patient leadership here as well is key. Your challenge, like I said, is the 3 of Wands, and your opportunity is the Emperor. So I feel like there's moves that you can make to set yourself up for a better future. Hard decisions that your future self will thank you for. This is what I'm getting. You need to make a very hard decision that your future self will thank you for. And it's interesting to me that Uranus also does have to do with the future. It doesn't have to do with the past. It has to do with the forward, the future. So doing something in a grounded way, the Emperor, in your opportunity, that will lead to a better future for you. So maybe implementing a new workout routine, but it definitely has to do with navigating a tricky emotional experience. Because in your overall general energy, Leo, for January 2024, almost said 2023, you have the Temperance card, the 10 of Wands, and also the Knight of Cups. So for a lot of you, there could be a love relationship coming to an end, or something that you decide to disconnect from because it's a burden. And for a lot of you, what I'm picking up on now is there's been a relationship that you've been waiting to change. Leo, there could have been a situation that you're in, with someone that you're waiting for them to change in love. I'm just waiting for this person to get their emotions right. I'm just waiting for this love situation to turn around. Why is this person not showing me love, etc.? And it becomes a burden. So there could be some sort of emotional burden that you're navigating. No matter how you cut it, your overall general energy is letting go of an emotional burden. So whether this is in the form of a person or a career, this is something that you're really going to have to consider. you're really going to have to consider. So we're going to have to clarify to get more information on it in a minute, Leo. But then when it comes to what you don't see coming, I feel like your stability is in question due to a new opportunity coming up for you. And also flirting with the idea of what is my destiny. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and also the Wheel of Fortune when it comes to what you don't see coming. And so there's definitely an opportunity, I feel, here to break out of being overly secure. The Four of Pentacles here is someone who doesn't really take chances, and you definitely do need to take chances here in a grounded way, because what you need more of is Uranus. This is the risk taker. Uranus isn't afraid to be edgy, and Uranus will just jump into the Seven of Cups and the destiny and the opportunity, and they'll just take on the opportunity, take on a new spiritual opportunity. But then you have this Taurus energy of just remaining grounded still. So I don't know, we're going to have to really figure it out. But a lot of you, there's definitely, potentially a destined relationship that's confusing, and this could have to do with what your overall general energy is telling you. And it's really interesting, Leo. So I don't know, we're going to have to figure it out as we go along. I feel like this reading is really going to need to be clarified, because I'm getting the gist of it, but not the details, if that makes sense. And then in your advice, you have the Two of Swords, you have the Sun, and you also have the High Priestess here. So that's a really interesting advice. That's a really interesting advice here. Because on the one hand, like, the Sun brings clarity, and the Two of Swords is in denial. So there could be something that you're in denial about that Spirit is really shining a light on. This is what the advice is, to look at the thing that you really, there's a quote coming to my mind, Leo, for January 2024. Like, oftentimes, the answer that you're looking for will be found in the place that you least want to look. And I want you to use that as like a little bit of a mantra. The answer that you need most to illuminate, to shine light on, will often be found where you least want to look, where it's the most uncomfortable. And Spirit's definitely calling you to rely on your intuition. And it's interesting, you need more of the 12th house of spirituality and art. And a lot of your best art's going to be, a lot of your best work, whether this has to do with art or spirituality or not, in a grounded, anything that you produce in this world, your best work is going to come through the thing that you're most afraid to share. Your most vulnerability is the thing that people are craving. People don't want to just see someone talk about, hey, spirituality is we want to hear the juice. We want to hear, well, how did you have an awakening? What makes you different? And especially with Uranus and the Emperor being in your opportunity, don't be afraid of what makes you different here, because there could be a little bit of a fear of that. There could be a fear of what makes you different, and not really showing that, for some of you, could have been what led you to this situation where you're in some sort of emotional burden, taking on people's emotions, because you're in a situation. I don't know. We're gonna have to clarify. So let's just go ahead and start clarifying this reading, Leo, to really make sense of it for you, because it's going to be a reading that we need to clarify. So doing my best to not get lost in my own stuff today and just do the reading for you. So let's go ahead and let's clarify why that 10 of Wands is here. What's coming to an end for you? What starts to feel like a burden? Let's see. Yeah, something that you've been waiting on is just not happening, perhaps. Especially you're waiting for someone to change in love. You may have to make a really hard decision that might affect your stability. Yeah, definitely a relationship for a lot of you. Yeah, I feel like someone can't give someone what someone needs. Whatever side you're on, Leo, the 10 of Wands and your overall general energy is clarified by the Empress in reverse, the Two of Cups, and also the World. And I feel like there's a relationship that's kind of coming to a halt, and that could have to do with the challenges. The Three of Wands, a relationship, for some of you, it won't permanently end, but it comes to a halt. A very important relationship that you have a love connection with in January 2024. because someone's like incapable of giving someone what they need in the relationship. So make sure that you're not you're not expecting something of someone who's incapable of giving it to you, like putting all of your chips in the wrong basket, putting all your ducks in one basket. Make sure there could be something around developing a safety net of just yourself here, relying on yourself. So I don't know, Leo, it's definitely something to do with a relationship that has reached an expansion point that you may be trying to hold on to. Someone's incapable of giving the other person what they need. It's also interesting you have the Emperor and your opportunity, and then to clarify the Ten of Wands, you have the Empress in reverse. Let's clarify why the Emperor is your opportunity. Why is the Emperor your opportunity, Leo? Yeah, the Emperor in your opportunity is clarified by the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and also the Ace of Pentacles here. So definitely a new career opportunity or a new opportunity to make money may be your opportunity here. And it could have to do with something to you to make an individual choice to take responsibility for your own life. The Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles show the full circle of the pentacle spectrum. This is a new beginning that potentially could lead to a legacy for you of love. And the Queen of Cups has to do with unconditional love and very spiritual, very 12th house kind of spiritual art, like we're talking about here with the 12th house, what you need more of. And then you have the Taurus energy here, which is all here. So if you have a unique idea, if you have something that you haven't seen anyone done yet in the physical world having to do with spirituality or some sort of compassion, I feel like it would really work out for you. There could also be a new relationship coming in for you here, Leo. There could also be a new relationship coming in for you that could be very advantageous, potentially with a water sign or with an Aries is what I'm getting. But first, it seems like you're letting go of a relationship at the same time. This could have to do with a family member you're struggling with, a friend you're struggling with, a business partner that you're struggling with, and then there's a new love relationship that comes in as well. Because there's definitely a lot going on with love and emotions for you in January 2024. So I don't know, let's keep going. Let's also clarify why the Seven of Cups is the centerpiece to this reading. A lot of you could have a great business idea or a great new thing to start in the physical world that's going to lead to a lot of abundance and a new legacy for you. But you can't be afraid of change, right? The Ace of Pentacles has to do with change in the physical world, and it makes sense that you have Uranus, change, and then you have Taurus, the physical world, right? So definitely a lot of change to the way that you make money. It would be your opportunity. And if you're not doing something that you love, you're doing the wrong thing. This is definitely the frequency as well. It's really hard to be your own boss. It's really hard to be an emperor if you're doing something that you don't really enjoy. But the Queen of Cups to the Ten of Pentacles, if you love what you do, if you can find a way to offer the world something that you enjoy doing, if money wasn't an object but you would still do it and you decide to do that, then the saying, if you love what you'll do, you'll never work another day in your life. And I really feel like with where we are in the world right now, especially because you have this Ten of Wands in your overall general energy, for a lot of you, this could be the frequency of being overworked and underpaid. And a lot of you are going to feel overworked, underpaid, and extremely emotionally drained in your work. And you're going to feel like there's not enough money going around, and you know that there's more out there for you with the world. So things are starting to come full circle with you. But I would say that you're going to have to risk your stability, because in what you don't see coming, Leo, remember how it's you need to do the thing that you're most afraid to do. In what you don't see coming, there's an opportunity to take a risk and to potentially risk your stability for a period of time, as an airplane is flying over my little office here. And so there's something to do with your security could be at risk because of a new thing that you want to do, and your challenge could also have to do with procrastination. What did I say? I mean, like I said, there's impatience in the beginning, but now that I look at it, Leo, there could be something here with the Three of Wands in your challenge about a great idea that you have, but you just need to start really manning up or Leoing up and be the lion that you are. But it's you keep procrastinating a great thing because it's just easier to stay with what you have. But you need the 12th house. You need change. So there needs to be a spiritual rebirth here for you, but it needs to remain grounded, because I feel like whatever spiritual rebirth is going on has to do with the physical world for you. It's not just locking yourself away. It has to be with the physical here. So, yeah, let's see. I feel like your intuition could also be messing with you as well, is what the advice is saying. Like, you could be telling yourself, I have an intuition that, like, this isn't going to work. But really, that's just your self-doubt masquerading as intuition. So the way to know the difference between your ego and intuition is, what does it sound like in your head? Because when I look at this advice for you, Leo, right, you have the Two of Swords, the Sun, and the High Priestess. For some of you Leos out there, this is definitely like your intuition playing it. You thinking it's your intuition, but it's really your fear. And the way that you know it's your intuition, if it's the soft voice, you should do that, but I would like you to do that. You're conscious. I would like you to do that, Leo, but you don't have to. It's your free will. It's your choice. You can do it. That's your intuition. Fear is, if I don't do that, I'm going to die. If I let go of this, I'm going to be broke. If I let go of it, fear. Do you know the difference between fear and... Fear is always in a hurry. Fear is always... But then it's like your challenge is the Three of Wands as well, so it's interesting. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So let's clarify what the Seven of... Why is the Seven of Cups here in the centerpiece to what you don't see coming? A big choice, a life-altering choice to your destiny here, perhaps, in the new year. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see? Yep. You're not given your gift. Something like, I feel like there's like... Some of you as well, you need to really be careful about like... You see, it's such a joke, because for some of you, you're dealing with the idea of like, oh, if I do this new spiritual thing, this Uranus, being original, being eccentric, being unique, and doing it in a spiritual way that's somehow grounded, like maybe you're going to feel like your relationships are limited because people will judge you negatively for this. You know, I feel like this is a theme that you're dealing with, whether it's in your subconscious or conscious, and that's something that I struggled with. It was such a joke. Like before I started this channel, I was like, yeah, well... What girl would like me? Or like what person, who's gonna like me if I'm like the autistic mystic tarot reader on YouTube? And like my little ego that was so fearful was like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna have to be celibate the rest of my life because of this weird ass channel. And now I wake up to like 100 DMs from models every day. So it's like, trust me, when you show your uniqueness, people will find the real you and they're gonna love it. So it's like, I feel like you're just I feel like it's just, maybe there's a little bit of conditioning here that you're breaking through, because the devil does have to do with conditioning. And you also had the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And so here's what I would say to you. It is in fact the height of selfishness. It is in fact the height of selfishness to merely consume what others create in a passive state of consumption, rather than to be proactive and to be a producer. Because you see, Leo, the way to escape the matrix is to become a producer. All the gadgets, all the Netflix, all the Roku, smart TVs just wants you to play video games and to be a consumer. At least if you're going to play video games, stream it, become a producer, create a video game, right? And Uranus conjunct the 12th house in Taurus could literally be something that creates a new video game. For some of you out there needed to hear it, but most of you know. But what I'm saying here is, I feel like there's something here about a gift that you have to give to the world that you're convinced might ruin your relationships. And a lot of you here, you're wondering, it's actually really funny to me, like, why haven't I attracted the person that I really want? Why haven't I attracted the abundance that I really want? Because the 10 of Wands in your overall general energy clarified by the Empress in reverse, that's like overworked, underpaid, like no good partner, no good money, whatever it is for you. Well, if you're not showing the world who you really are, how do you expect anyone to see who you really are? You know, so it's not going to work to just play within the lines, especially as Pluto goes forward into Aquarius pretty real soon here. It's going to go back into Cap, but as Pluto gets into Aquarius here, this whole Capricorn idea of fitting in and getting value for fitting in is not going to work. So I really feel like you need to question your own fixation on stability and ask yourself, what is stability now? Because, you know, just a few years ago, you probably would have found a bunch of comments. Look, he's charging $33 for his course. Look at how much money he charges for his astrology readings. What an a-hole, right? That was Pluto and Capricorn. Now, with Taurus and the 12th house, it's my personal opinion that the highest exchange of value is spiritual insight. If someone can do something that raises your frequency, that is extremely valuable, and for some sort of unique way, perhaps in a weird way, perhaps in a way that has to do with art and Uranus and being eccentric and also sensual, because you are Leo, fire, physical. There's something that you got to do here that maybe you're really afraid to do because your intuition's messing with you. And perhaps for some of you, because I'm really sorry, Leo, because I've always just had experiences, I think what it is like my mother was a Leo, so I always kind of subconsciously view Leos as authority or whatever. But then I realized there's so many Leos that are empaths out there that are just like me, and I think what's going on for a lot of you is you're taking on other people's emotions around what security is in this world, because it's literally a joke. I mean, if you saw the amount of money that I made off personal readings, a lot of you would be crapping your jocks in the last 2 weeks. And it's literally, the reason I say that is not to brag, but to give you the download of there's literally still people probably in my family, or there's literally still people out there. They're like, oh, Austin, the autistic mystic, I hope he's doing okay. I hope he's doing okay. I hope that keeps working out for him. But, I'm just at my corporate job, but I hope it works out for him. It's you don't know what's going on, do you? You have no idea what's going on. So it's yo, are you sure it's your emotion? Are you sure you're so afraid? Or are you taking on the emotions of other people and therefore you're afraid? Because I know there's a lot of Leos that are introverted and that live in the woods, but subconsciously, even if you're a Leo sun, I don't care, you're going to be a little bit of a pack animal. Like lions, Leo the lion, you operate in tribe. So even if you don't have a tribe, you're always concerned, well, where will my tribe be? Who will my friends be? So I don't know, Leo. This is just, why is the Wheel of Fortune here? Why is the Wheel of Fortune here and what you don't see coming? Because this could have to do with an opportunity for your destiny. You have the Emperor, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, 10 of Pentacles in your opportunity. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here? The Sun is in your advice, and the Sun also popped out, and you also have the Seven of Pentacles, and you also have the Tower. So the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Sun, the Seven of Pentacles, and also the Tower here. So I definitely feel like your opportunity and what you don't see coming is to blow up a foundation. And it's interesting, this may have to do with a relationship for some of you that's holding you back in your career, that's holding you back in your legacy, that's holding you back in what you really have to give because you're trying to people please or something. But you also have the Sun and the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles has to do with the fruits of your labor starting to really flow in. And I do feel like a lot of you Leos out there are much more capable, are much more competent, are much more whole and complete than you're giving yourself credit for. And I almost feel like the universe is going to take something away from you to almost hey, Leo, you got this, right? So I don't know. It's really interesting. Let's just let me pause this. Let's just also, Leo, go to your advice, because the advice is really interesting. Let's see why the Two of Swords is here. Why is this in your advice? Because whenever this is in your advice, sometimes it's Spirit saying to ignore something. But in this case, I feel like it's saying you need to look at what you don't want to look at with the Sun right next to it. Illumination of in denial. Are you in denial? What are you in denial about? I don't know. Why is the Two of Swords here in your advice? The Two of Swords is The Two of Swords is clarified by the Ten of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and also the Six of Wands in reverse. Man, Leo, So the 10 of Wands obviously was in your overall general energy, having to do with an ending, the number 10, but also a burden, carrying too much weight. It's like, this is not working anymore. The 8 of Swords has to do with it being stuck, but you're not as stuck as you think. And the 6 of Swords in reverse has to do with the idea of public image and getting attention and public victory, but in reverse, some of you are really afraid of looking bad. But if anyone's going to judge you for this new beginning that you're going to pursue, if anyone's going to judge you for this opportunity of 12th house Uranus, Taurus, whatever you're going to do with that, I would say it's important, if anyone judges you, to ask who's judging. And if you're judging yourself, is it really you? Because it's really easier to police yourself than to have other people police you. So what most people do is they start crap talking themselves. So it's like, a lot of you are really afraid of taking a dive in front of the public or something like that. And that's the only reason. Hey, Leo, I'm doing this out of love. If the only reason that you're not doing something, if you're not sharing your gift, if you're not doing something that you love, in private you love it, but the only reason you're not doing it, the only reason you're afraid is because of something to do with, well, what if I fail and what if it looks bad in front of other people? You're a bitch. Am I going to edit that out? No, I'm not. It's like, sometimes it's the sting of, you need to fail. I'm not even saying you're going to fail, but I just feel like there's this real hit to your, image, or there's this real risk involved. They're like, what if I get stuck? What if I take the risk and I'm more stuck than I am? What if I take the risk and it doesn't pay off? I feel like this is all fear. This is all fear talking. So let's see why the sun is here. And I'm saying that with love. Like, I'm saying that in encouragement. I'm not saying that to reinforce any sort of thing. I'm just saying that to encourage you to grow out of your comfort zone. I hope you realize that. Okay? Because I know. Yeah, the sun is clarified by the 6 of Cups in reverse and also the 7 of Swords. So definitely to do with a past relationship holding you back. For a lot of you, in your overall general energy, you had the 10 of Wands, an ending, a burden. You had the 2 of Cups. You had the World, an ending as well, but a positive ending, the Empress in reverse. So for a lot of you, you really need to make a hard break from the past. And it may be really difficult for you. Like something that you've been really holding on to. Taurus has to do with fixed earth. This is my town. This is my tribe. This is my family. This is my food. This is my room. Get out, Cynthia. This is my room. But Uranus has to do with, maybe that's my room. Let's switch rooms. Oh, this is my town. Let's move to Idaho. Like, you need to really break free of any sort of physical / emotional bond. The six of Cups has to do with nostalgia, your hometown, your family, your childhood, your past. But it's in reverse. And the 7 of Pentacles in reverse is hella sketch bomb. So there really could be like, oh my God, well, what would my parents think? Oh my God, what would my dead grandparent think? What would my physics teacher think that I never talked to? Like, it's like, I don't know what's holding you back from this, but you also may have just found clarity that, like, you need to break free from the past and take a risk. That would be my advice to you, Leo. So with that being said, I really hope this reading gave you clarity and insight for the rest of January 2024. But Leo, I appreciate you as always, and I will talk to you next.